Well, great. Well, let me start just so I can set a good level. Have you do the typical spiel here. Introduce yourself. Tell me what you had. Well, I guess before the sun rose.
Good morning. My name is Faizan Syed. I'm the Executive Director for the Council on American Islamic Relations here in Missouri. And this morning I woke up and I had some hummus with boiled eggs and dates, of course.
Nice. All right, great. Well, Faizan, let me start by asking you to describe this Sharing Ramadan event that your organization will be hosting.
So every year we do what's called Sharing Ramadan Open House as an opportunity for the American Muslim community to invite their friends, neighbors, co-workers, family members to come and visit the Islamic Center, to get a guided tour of the building, to share in the iftar breaking of the fast meal, and also there's some very fun tables there. So this time there'll be a table they can get henna art tattoos on their hands. They can try on the hijab and Islamic clothing and take photos. They can get their names written in Arabic, and of course, a table to answer any question on Islam. And we really feel that, especially in this growing tide of misunderstanding about the American Muslim community, who we are, what we believe, what we stand for, these types of events are so powerful because you're inviting people into your center for the most unifying thing, which is breaking bread. And I think it's something that's very positive, and I'd also hope that in the future we can have more Islamic centers do it as well.
That's awesome. Now, this is the third annual, correct? And from what I saw on Facebook, this looks to be the biggest of these events.
Right. This year we're expecting well over 500 people to come. So on Facebook we have almost like 170 people registered, but also we give the American Muslim community invitation cards and we tell them you go invite your friends and coworkers. So online we have about 300 people that registered, and last year, to put in perspective, we had 40 people register and we had about 400 people come. So if hopefully it will be more than 500, but yeah, we're expecting a big crowd.
That's amazing. I mean, what does that mean to you to see those numbers and that interest from the community?
To me, it really means that people want to know about the American Muslim community. They want to learn what's going on inside of our centers. They want to share in the experience of Ramadan, and they want to just know what their neighbors and their friends and coworkers go through every day. And this is an opportunity for them to come to a space where it's welcoming, where it's open, in order for them to see the Muslim communities, to see what goes inside the Islamic centers, and of course to participate in Ramadan. And I think it's something very positive. When we look at the news, sometimes we always see the negative. Sometimes the angriest voices are the loudest, but yet underneath that, I think America is a vibrant country that really wants to build bridges with everybody, and I think this is an opportunity to do so.
Are there ever, is there any nerves doing events like this that, someone might come in and ask questions that they might not intend to be awkward or offensive, but kind of end up being? And how do you handle that?
We love it when people come in and ask awkward and difficult questions, because the worst is if you have that question and you never ask it. So that's not an issue for us. We love questions, we love these types of things. But one reality that is being said this year is, in the past we've never worried about security. Actually, we've never even had security at these events. But this year, because of the climate in this country, we're actually part of the program organizing is to worry about who's going to do security, how they're going to be managed, and how we're going to deal with that as well. So I think though there's a very positive aspect of a lot of people coming, we also have to live in the reality that we have to make sure that it's also a safe space for people.
Speaking of that reality, is there ever a concern that, the folks who will be turning out for Sharing Ramadan who are non-Muslim, they might already have that interest in learning about it, that maybe the folks who really need to know about what the American Muslim community is really like wouldn't even come to an event like this?
That's always something that we struggle with every year. So we definitely want to make sure that those people who want to learn are able to come, but we also want to invite the people who don't normally come to these events. So even recently, I was at a Trump rally in downtown. I was passing out donuts to the people, and then I found the Facebook page. So what I've been doing is, some of the people in the organizer, I've been trying to contact them to see if we can get some of them to come. Because you're right, unless we invite the people who may not like us, we're really just preaching to the choir, and that's not the goal that we want to achieve.
What is your favorite part about this event?
Honestly, my favorite part is empowering American Muslims. Most of the time, people feel that their faith is misrepresented, they don't know how to respond to it, and this gives them an opportunity to do something positive. At the event, we also have sign-up sheets. We get Muslims to sign up, and then our goal is to really educate them on how you can educate others about it as well, how you can hold open houses at your own homes, how you can invite people to your special Islamic celebrations that happen throughout the year. So it's not just the Islamic Center, it's not just CAIR doing these events, but it's a grassroots movement within the Muslim community that everybody's doing whatever little they can to really have their doors open, have their bridges open. Even my home, after Ramadan, we're actually going to be doing an open house at my home. I just moved to Ferguson recently, so we're going to be inviting all of our neighbors to our home again. And the idea is once everybody does their share, then you'll hopefully see a tremendous change in the community.
Tell me a little bit about what the event, what iftar actually involves for people who don't know. What can they expect?
Well, early morning, Muslims wake up. I woke up this morning at 3:30 in the morning, and then I finished eating at 4 in the morning. So we fast from 4 in the morning till 8:30 at night. So the breaking of the fast meal is one of the most amazing occasions because people are waiting for the sun to set. They have dates, which are the traditional meal that people eat, along with water and juice. And right when the sun sets, there's a man who stand up and he'll give the adhan, which is the call to prayer, and then everybody eats. And it's something that's quite tremendous because you'll see, without anybody saying anything, you'll see the entire hall go completely silent maybe 2 minutes before the event as people anticipate. And then right when the sun sets, it just becomes lively. So that's what the iftar meal is. It's a communal meal that happens every single night, and it brings communities together. If you could actually live within a majority Muslim country, most of the time you never see your neighbors. You never see other people live in your area. But during Ramadan, everybody comes together and everybody shares in the break in the fast meal. And that's how you build tremendous communities. And I think this year, in this Sharing Ramadan, we're going to be extending that to the greater community as well.
Tell me a little bit about spiritually what doing the fast every day throughout Ramadan means to you, and then getting to share in this breaking of the bread with your neighbors.
Many people would think that Ramadan is difficult, but the reality is that American Muslims all around the world look forward to Ramadan more than any other time of the year, because it's that time that one builds a closer relationship with Allah, God Almighty. And you give up eating, you give up drinking, but by doing so, you become in control of the self. As there's this idea that the self always wants things, it always needs to be fed and these things. But when you do that, you are taking control. And by doing so, you find a level of freedom and a level of accomplishment that, yes, if I can give up, things I need to survive, then I'm more easily able to give up other things that are maybe adverse on my life as well. And also in Ramadan, it's a spiritual time that builds a relationship between you and God, but also builds a relationship between you and the community and humanity as well. During Ramadan, many Muslims, they'll feed the hungry, they'll help the homeless, they give extras charity during this month. So it's a time to really realize, what does it mean to be human? And what it means to be human is not that you just work and go to school and do these things every single day, but it's that you stop, you disrupt your schedule, and you really reflect on who you are as a person and how you can help others. And that's why Ramadan is the most anticipated month of the year, even though people are fasting 18 hours a day.
Now, I'm also working on this story where I'm hopefully going to be talking with some kids who have tried fasting for the first time this year. And so I wanted to get your story. When was the first time that you fasted for Ramadan?
So just to let you know, every year Ramadan goes back 10 days because it's on the lunar calendar. So when I first started fasting, I was about 8 years old. But at that time, Ramadan was in December. So the sun would set around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock every day. And I remember we would first start fasting on the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday. Then we start fasting throughout the weekdays. One of my fondest memory of fasting is what I told my teacher in elementary school: I'm fasting, I won't be eating and drinking all day. So the teacher says, oh, well, that's interesting. And then they had me sit in the cafeteria with like 10 other students, and all they were eating and I'm just sitting there not eating. So it's one of those experiences that younger people, they love doing. And they love doing it because their mom is fasting, their dad is fasting, everybody in the community is fasting. It's cool to fast. And that's why, especially in the Muslim community, you'll have very young children fasting. I'm very impressed by young people today because they're fasting during 18-hour fast versus 10-hour fast in the past. So it's something very unique, and hopefully those stories, I think, will be quite inspiring.
Do you have any advice for the young people who are trying it for the first time this year?
Yeah, definitely wake up early, eat a good breakfast, and drink a lot of water. But of course, no matter how much you eat or drink, 5 minutes later you're gonna get hungry and thirsty either way. So just be patient with it, and do me a favor: don't spend your entire day playing video games and watching TV. Do something spiritual. Do something that helps the community as well. Because that's what I did when I was a kid. When I would fast, it'd just be an excuse to watch TV all day.
Good advice. Good advice. So, I guess, what are you hoping that people who are coming, both Muslims and non Muslims alike, coming to the Sharing Ramadan event, what do you hope that they take away?
I hope that they understand that the American Muslim community is a spiritual community and is a community that brings people together in breaking of the fast meal, but also just to build community relation with one another. I hope they'll also understand that we are your neighbors, we are your friends, we are your coworkers, and what we're doing inside the Islamic Center isn't anything secret, but it's a place of prayer, of reflection, of community gatherings. And I think if people can come to that event and go away with that, I think we would have had a tremendously successful event.
All right, now give me the details. When do people come? What do they need to know when they're coming? Where's it going to be, etc.?
The event starts this Thursday, June the 23rd at 7:30 p.m. People should arrive at 7:30 p.m. Right when you come in, you'll go to the main lobby and doors of the Islamic Center. There you'll be given a guided tour of the facility that will then end inside the gymnasium. Once you're inside the gym, there'll be about 4 tables set up doing henna art, doing hijab awareness, doing Islam information table, and others where you should visit and meet the community as it's going on. At around 8 o'clock, we'll start speeches because, of course, this is an event, so you have to have speeches. And the speeches will end right around 8:30. And 8:30 is when everybody will sit down. You'll hear the hall naturally become quiet. And then there'll be the adhan, call to prayer, and people will break their fast. After that, the group will be taken to the prayer hall just to see the sunset prayer. They'll come back for the dinner, which should be an international dinner. It'll be quite spectacular, I think. And then after that, people may choose to stay as long as they want or leave whenever they wish. And we hope to have everything done by 9:30. So again, this is open to anybody who's listening to this show, and we encourage everybody in the community to come. And the event is at Dar Al Islam Masjid, 517 Weedman Road.
And can you spell that one, or say that one more time just so I get the pronunciation correctly?
Of course. The location will be at the Dar Al Islam Masjid, which is at 517 Weedman Road in Baldwin, Missouri.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Faizan. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much as well.
Excellent. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think you're fantastic at this.
Oh, thank you.
You're a good